Hello, I'm Dean Karstens, and this is Dean's N-Scale Trains. This is the second video in my four-part series showing you how I use servo motors to drive my switches on my Conejos Valley Railroad. Today I'm going to show you three mounting systems that I have developed to hold the servos. One that's totally above the table, one that sits in the table, and one that's totally below the table. In all three cases, I have 3D printed these mounts, and I will publish the models in a form that you can 3D print if you have that capability. But I will also show you how I made similar mounts using strip wood and sheet wood. I will also show you how I completely hide the above the table and in the table mounts to make them completely invisible. There's a lot to talk about, so let's go. So this is the first servo mount I want to talk about. It's above the table mount. It has the advantage it's easy to set up. You can work on it above the table. The problem is you have to figure out how to hide it. You can easily make this out of strip wood and sheet wood if you want to. As you can see, just a couple of squares and a sheet. Here are some critical dimensions if you want to make your own. And here are the three parts of the servo: the mount, the servo, and the crank, cut short. And here are a couple of views of the servo sitting in the mount from one side and from the front. Here's a test piece I built up. The mount I made from balsa, out of sheet balsa, and a couple of squares of stick balsa about 1/4 inch thick. You can see the rod that goes from the crank to the switch rod. On my layout, I hide the rod going from the machine to the switch inside of a hollow tube made from styrene or whatever you have available. And here are a couple of servos mounted in their mounts, sitting above the table in my Conejos Valley Railroad, running two switches. You can see the connection from the crank to the switch is fairly easy. I've shown it up above here. It's a wire with a hook on one end, and you bend the other one twice so that it fits. To hide the switch motors, I built this building that just covers it up. Here are two views from one side and the other. So here's my in the table mount. It holds the servo such that most of it is below the level of the table, as you'll see. So here's one of the examples of this in the table mount on my Conejos Valley Railroad. You can see the rod that runs from the crank to the switch mechanism and the tubing back under this track. I 3D printed a tank, as you can see here, that just covers up the servo mechanism. And then I added a little ballast to cover up the tube with the wire inside. The first step to mounting the servo machine is to drill a 1 3/8 inch hole all the way down into the foam, if that's what you've got. Cut a slot down below and feed your... See, I've got the servo mounted in my holder with just the short piece. Everything else is cut off. This is what they look like before you cut them off. Feed it down into the hole. And I want to line this up fairly closely with the throw rod. It's about as close as I'm going to get. And then I'm using hot glue to glue this down just around the edges. Then I use just a copper rod. It's an 1/8 inch copper rod mounted in a drill. You don't have to do anything on the end. I use that to drill through. So this piano wire is 20/1000 of an inch. I'm going to bend a U in the end of it. Be very careful when you're cutting this wire that it I always close my eyes when I cut it, but you can also wear safety glasses. So feed it through. This wire is flexible enough. And there we have it. With the switch in the center position, I want to bend this right at this hole. This is not totally critical. I forgot to put my tubing in. And it should almost touch the throw bar when it's in the pulled position. So I'll put it right there. So I glued this down with hot glue and then trim the type down so I can get the lid down as close as tight as possible. Now to cover this up, just carefully pour ballast. And then put on some scenic cement. Okay, all that's left to do is to glue this thin top down. Okay, so now I'm going to smooth this off and fill this up with some joint compound and finish this area off. You see I've put some wooden edges down here to mark the edge between the ground and the yard with the ballast. So this will all be ground. I think I'm going to put a road through here, and then I'll backfill this with ballast, leaving a little bit of a ditch. Now you might ask, how am I going to repair these if these go bad? I'll just have to dig down and get the covers off. Putting on the second coat. I think that will do with a little sanding. A little bit of sanding, a little bit of paint, some ground cover, and this is what you've got. Can you spot the 3 switch machines hidden in this video? There's a small problem inherent in both of these designs, the above the table and in the table switch machines, and that is they only take about 0 to 10 degrees movement to move the switch, these small end scale switch machines back and forth. If you overdrive them, say run one to 180 degrees, you can seriously damage the switch mechanism or even tear apart the switch or turnout. So you have to be careful when you're running these and when you're setting up the software. I'll talk about that in a later video. This is not a problem with the design, the third design I'm going to show you, the under the table mount. The servo is set up so that it can go from 0 to 180 degrees to move the switch mechanism back and forth. That's an inherent advantage. The disadvantage, of course, is you've got to work under the table to install it, and I don't like to do that. So I prefer the above table mounts, above table or in table mount. So this is the last of my 3 mount designs. This is designed to go under the table, As you can see, it's quite simple. It's just an L-shaped angle. It has a 832 nut pushed into a hexagonal hole, some spring wire that's soldered to a screw, an 832 screw, and tied to the crank. I'll show you in operation. The servo goes from 0 to 180 degrees, and the slack is taken up by the spring wire, so there's no possibility that anything could be damaged with this. So here it is in operation. This thing is going continuously back and forth. So today I've showed you how I made 3 servo mounts. The above the table, the in the table, and the below the table. And I hope I've given you enough information that you can make something similar out of wood if you want to experiment with servos. If there's enough interest, I will publish the models somewhere where people can get them and print their own 3D models. Give me a comment below if you would like to see that, and if I see at least one request, I will publish them. Thanks for watching. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Dean's N-Scale Trains. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.